Imagine holding a single coin in your hand, a coin so ordinary, so familiar, that no one would ever suspect it could change your life forever. Now, imagine discovering that coin in your pocket change, in a jar, or tucked away in a drawer. One coin, one moment, and suddenly, your world could be worth $1.60 million. That most people see pennies every day, yet they pass over the rarest treasures without a second thought. But some pennies are different. Some carry secrets, secrets that could unlock unimaginable wealth. Among them is a 1996 D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny minted that year. Copper, small, unassuming. But if you know what to look for, this coin could be the key to a fortune most people only dream about. The story of this coin begins with a minting error that almost never happens. In 1996, the Denver Mint produced millions of pennies. Most circulated quietly, never raising an eyebrow. But a tiny fraction carried a flaw, a subtle anomaly that collectors now hunt like treasure hunters chasing a lost artifact. The flaw isn't obvious. It doesn't scream for attention. Only those who know the secret can spot it. And that's where the mystery begins. How could such a valuable coin, worth millions, hide in plain sight for decades? Some say it's fate. Others call it luck. But the truth is, the mint's machines sometimes make mistakes. Tiny, microscopic differences occur. On the 1996 D. Lincoln penny, one of these mistakes created something extraordinary. Something that could be worth over $1 million if you find it today. Now, let's pause for a moment. Picture yourself at a flea market, a garage sale, or even at home. You're sifting through coins, casually turning them over. And then, a glint catches your eye. That glint could be the beginning of a story you'll never forget. It's all about the details. The Denver Mint mark, the exact positioning of the design, the depth of the strike, and even the tiniest doubling on the letters. Experts call it the double die or rare strike anomaly. If you know how to look, it jumps out at you. But for most people, it looks like a normal penny. That's why millions of dollars in potential value hide in ordinary jars of change. Collectors all over the United States have been hunting for this coin. Some have spent years chasing it, examining thousands of pennies. The tension, the obsession, the thrill of the hunt, it's all part of what makes coin collecting so electrifying. One moment, it's just another penny. The next, it's a life-changing discovery. And this is why every detail matters. When examining a 1996 D. Lincoln penny, hold it under a bright light. Look at the mint mark, carefully comparing it to verified examples. Check the details of Lincoln's bust, the lettering on the rim, and the shape of the digits in the date. Experts recommend using a magnifying glass, but even with the naked eye, subtle differences can sometimes reveal a fortune hidden for decades. Imagine the thrill of identifying this coin. The same coin that could sell for $1.6 million might be sitting in your pocket right now, and you wouldn't even know it. This isn't just a coin. It's history, mystery, and wealth wrapped into one. And every time you examine a stack of pennies, you could be seconds away from discovering a treasure no one else sees. The story of the 1996 D. Lincoln penny is also a story about perseverance. Some collectors have searched for decades without success. Others found their fortune by pure chance. A retired teacher cleaning out an old desk drawer. A collector stumbling through change in a cup. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to you. Study the known examples. Compare images online. Learn the anomalies that distinguish the rare coins from the ordinary. Look for doubling, mint mark misplacement, and the subtle shifts in Lincoln's profile. Pay attention to every detail, every line, every edge. Because sometimes, the smallest imperfection is the most valuable treasure in the world. Every 1 to 2 minutes, pause and reset your focus. Don't get distracted by ordinary pennies. Remember, this coin could change your life. Imagine the phone call, the auction, the disbelief when you discover the value. The world could suddenly see you in a new light, as the person who uncovered a $1.6 million treasure hidden in plain sight. Collectors share stories of the moment they discovered rare coins. Some describe it as heart-stopping. Some call it surreal. One moment, it's a routine examination. The next, they realize the magnitude of what they're holding. And the 1996 D. Lincoln penny has inspired the same awe. It's not just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. These coins don't stay hidden forever. The longer they circulate, the rarer they become. Every ordinary hand that passes over them, every jar of pennies that goes unnoticed, increases the value for the lucky collector who finally identifies one. And when you finally hold that coin, the emotional impact is overwhelming. It's the kind of moment that changes your life forever. Remember, this is not just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, and a potential fortune. Every detail matters. Every careful glance could reveal a minting error that has eluded collectors for decades. And in the quiet, ordinary moments, a penny can transform into a multi-million-dollar treasure to so when you open your drawer tonight. Or check the coins in your wallet, take a moment. Examine them. Study them. Because the most ordinary object in your hand could be the key to a millionaire's life. The 1996 D. Lincoln penny waits for the observant, the patient, and the passionate collector. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and realizing it could change your life forever. Not $10,000, not $100,000, but over $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But it's real, and it's hiding in plain sight, perhaps even in your pocket change. Today, we're uncovering the story of the 1972 Lincoln 1 cent, the version with no mint mark, a coin that collectors and dealers are desperate to find. Back in 1972, the United States was on the edge of change. The world was shifting, and so was the minting process. Most pennies were made by the Philadelphia Mint, but in those days, even the slightest difference in a coin strike could make it worth a fortune. And that's exactly what happened. Among millions of ordinary pennies, a few rare variations slipped through the cracks, unnoticed. One of these could be the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln cent now. Don't imagine it's flashy or polished. No, this penny looks ordinary. To the untrained eye, it's just another Lincoln penny. But for those who know what to look for, it's a ticket to a life-changing discovery that let's take a closer look. The 1972 penny was produced primarily in Philadelphia, which is why it has no mint mark. But the key is subtle. Collectors search for double dies on the obverse, meaning Lincoln's portrait, especially the words Liberty and the date, may appear doubled. Sometimes, the doubling is faint. Other times, it's bold and unmistakable. This tiny error, invisible to most, is what can turn a humble penny into a potential $1.7 million treasure. Pause and think about this. Millions of coins were minted that year. Only a tiny fraction, perhaps a handful, have this rare doubling. You could have walked past it your whole life, never realizing that a single penny in your drawer could be worth more than most people make in a lifetime. First, you need good lighting. Hold the penny up to a strong light or use a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's profile, the letters in Liberty, and the date. Do the edges of the numbers and letters seem thicker or doubled? Even a slight shadow can reveal the magic. If it matches the description of the 1972 no mint mark doubled die, congratulations, you're holding a piece of history. Here's something few people realize. Collectors have been hunting for these coins for decades, and some have paid millions of dollars without hesitation when they found one. There's a legend of a collector who found one in a jar of pennies his grandmother gave him, a coin so ordinary that it took years for him to realize what he had. By the time he did, offers came in that could fund a lifetime of dreams. Now, let's reset for a moment. Imagine being that collector. Imagine the rush, the disbelief. Could this really be happening to you? That exact feeling is what drives collectors to spend hours sorting, scanning, and searching through boxes of pennies. And yet, most people give up too soon. They overlook the small clues, the subtle variations, the tiny doubling on a coin that can make it priceless. Back to the 1972 no mint mark penny. One of the easiest ways to spot a genuine treasure is the detail on Lincoln's cheek and jawline. If you notice a faint doubling along the outline, that's your first signal. Then, check the date, especially the bottom of the 1 and the 9. Doubling here is consistent among verified high-value coins. Combine these features, and you may be looking at something that could fetch over $1 million at auction. Collectors describe the feeling of discovering a coin like this as almost spiritual. It's not just the money, it's the history, the rarity, the fact that you've uncovered something so precious that it could have been lost forever. Some coins have stories that stretch back decades, hidden in jars, wallets, and drawers, waiting for the right eyes to find them. And yes, it requires patience. You'll need to examine pennies one by one, perhaps hundreds or thousands, to truly understand what you're looking for. But when you finally spot that subtle doubling, the thrill is unforgettable. Dealers will look at you differently. Collectors will respect the find. And the penny? It becomes a legend. Think about the stakes. A coin so small, so ordinary in appearance, that it can unlock unimaginable wealth. While others are dismissing pennies as trivial, you now know the secret. The 1972 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than pocket change. It's potentially your ticket to a seven-figure windfall. Now, let's go even deeper. Some collectors insist that authentic coins will show slight inconsistencies in the strike, subtle shifts in the metal flow around Lincoln's collar, and minor imperfections that make each coin unique. It's almost like reading the coin's fingerprint, and once you recognize it, you'll never see a 1972 penny the same way again. Many of these coins are found in the most unlikely places. Drawer coins, rolls from decades ago, jars of pennies in basements, hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. It's a mystery, an adventure, a real-life treasure hunt. Imagine the shock on your face when you realize the ordinary coin you've been ignoring for years could be worth more than most homes. Pause again. Let the thought sink in. Millions of dollars are held in coins that seem insignificant. And now, armed with this knowledge, you're part of an elite group who could recognize one when they see it. That's power. That's history. That's a life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. Even if you've never collected coins before, you can do this. It doesn't require wealth, connections, or prior experience. Just patience, careful observation, and the willingness to look twice, even when you think a penny is just a penny. Every expert collector started somewhere. Most of them didn't expect to find a coin that could be worth over $1 million. But with diligence, focus, and an understanding of the subtle signs, they uncovered treasures that changed their lives forever. So tonight, when you reach for a drink or sort through your old coin jars, think carefully. Examine every penny. Look for the doubling. Observe Lincoln's face, the letters, the date. One small coin could hold an unimaginable secret. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, ordinary at first glance, yet worth $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. One coin, hiding in plain sight, could change your life forever. This isn't a story about treasure buried in a distant land. This is about a penny, a 1977 Lincoln cent, no mint mark, possibly sitting right under your nose. It's astonishing to think that something so small, so common, could carry such unimaginable value. And yet, history has a way of hiding its most valuable secrets in plain sight. The 1977 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, but unlike most pennies from that year, a rare variation exists. A subtle error in the die, a misstrike, a minting anomaly, that difference could make this coin worth millions. Most collectors glance at their change without a second thought. They toss these pennies into jars, never knowing the fortune that might lie within. Imagine the heart-stopping moment when someone finally recognizes the truth. One ordinary coin, misidentified for decades, suddenly becomes the centerpiece of the collecting world. Start by examining the coin's details under bright light. Look closely at Lincoln's profile, the shield on the reverse, and the year stamped at the bottom. The 1977 no-mint mark penny has certain anomalies that distinguish it from the common issue. Slight doubling of the date, unusual striking patterns, tiny indentations that shouldn't be there. Each subtle feature whispers the story of a coin meant to be extraordinary. Collectors who've discovered one describe an overwhelming rush. Their hands shake, their minds reel, because suddenly they are holding not just a coin, but the potential for a life-changing fortune. One penny, suddenly worth $1.8 million, transforms from pocket change to the ultimate prize. Every coin has a story, but this one is steeped in mystery. In the late 1970s, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies. Most entered circulation unnoticed, blending seamlessly into daily life. Yet a few bore an imperfection, a tiny variation that would make them legendary decades later. How many exist today? No one knows for sure. That uncertainty fuels the obsession, the thrill of the hunt. A retired teacher cleaning out a drawer, sorting through decades of accumulated change. Among the dull, everyday pennies, a glint catches their eye. Under the magnifying glass, they see the subtle doubling of the digits, the anomalies in Lincoln's face. Their heartbeat quickens. Could this be the one? Could this small, copper disc in their hand really be worth $1 million? Attention to detail is everything. When examining pennies, ensure proper lighting. Use a loupe or magnifying glass. Check for die doubling, slight variations in the date, the placement of letters, and the condition of the coin's surface. The tiniest imperfection, invisible to an untrained eye, can signal a potential fortune. The coin's story doesn't end at discovery. Its journey through circulation, the hands it passed through, even the scratches and where it endured, all add to its narrative. Every mark tells a tale of history, of everyday life, and of the chance encounter that could make a collector's dreams come true. Imagine attending a coin show, holding this penny in a protective case, and watching seasoned dealers' jaws drop. A single coin commanding the attention of experts, commanding respect and awe. It's not just the value. It's the story, the rarity, the thrill of uncovering a secret that has remained hidden for decades. This is not just a story of others. This is a story that could be yours. Every jar of pennies, every drawer in every home could conceal a fortune. You don't need to travel, dig, or search through dusty basements. Sometimes, the most valuable treasure is already in your pocket. Even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. The key is knowledge, patience, and the willingness to look closer than anyone else. And once you understand what to look for, the world of coin collecting opens up like a treasure map. Every time you think you've seen it all, a new detail emerges. The glint of copper, the subtle imperfections, the whisper of history beneath your fingertips. The suspense builds with every coin examined. Could this be the moment that changes everything? It's about the thrill, the emotional rush, the connection to history. But let's be honest, knowing that this one small coin could be worth $1.8 million doesn't hurt. It's the combination of heart-pounding discovery and unimaginable fortune that makes the hunt irresistible. And while many chase exotic coins from faraway lands, the truth is simpler. Sometimes, the most incredible treasure is closer than you ever imagined. You might already have it in your home, lying among countless ordinary pennies, waiting for the right eyes to recognize its worth. Check the year, check the mint mark, and look for anomalies. A subtle doubling, an unusual strike, or a misaligned feature can be the difference between a common penny and a piece of history. Each discovery carries the weight of excitement, disbelief, and awe, the exact feelings collectors live for. Think of the stories shared among collectors, whispered in excitement at coin shows. I found it in my change. I couldn't believe it when I saw the doubling. It's real. It's worth $1 million. The emotions are raw, real, and unforgettable. The journey to discovery, the suspense, the revelation. It's intoxicating. And now, imagine the possibilities. Your jar of pennies, your drawer, your pocket. Every coin has the potential to be extraordinary, but only those who know what to look for can recognize it. This penny isn't just metal. It's a ticket to history, to fortune, to dreams realized that it's rare. It's elusive. It's astonishing. And yet, it's out there, waiting for someone to see beyond the ordinary and recognize the extraordinary. Every minute you hesitate, another collector could uncover what might have been yours. The story of the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is more than a story of money. It's a story of possibility, of hidden treasures, of the thrilling pursuit of something greater than ourselves. Every glance at your spare change could be a step closer to discovering the next $1 million coin. So take a closer look at your pennies. Examine each one carefully, under bright light, with a magnifying glass and an attentive eye. Remember the details, the date, the mint mark, the slightest irregularity. These clues can unlock unimaginable value. Collectors across the country are still searching, still discovering, still dreaming. And every time someone finds this rare penny, the excitement is palpable. It's not just about the $1.8 million. It's about the story, the thrill, the once-in-a-lifetime moment when an ordinary object becomes extraordinary. Every drawer, every jar, every collection holds potential. The ordinary hides the extraordinary. The common hides the rare. The pennies in your pocket, or tucked away for years, may conceal a secret beyond your wildest dreams. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, ordinary, copper-colored, almost invisible among the change in your pocket. Now, imagine that same coin is secretly worth over $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? Yet, there exists a 1994 D Lincoln penny that has collectors and dealers across the country in total shock. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why this coin is so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable, and how you might already own one without even realizing it. Most people dismiss pennies as worthless. A tiny copper disc, easily overlooked, often tossed into jars or charity boxes. But the 1994 D Lincoln penny is not ordinary. Its story begins in the quiet corners of the Denver Mint, where millions of coins are struck every year. Somewhere in that process, a small mistake occurred, a subtle anomaly that the naked eye can barely detect, yet it transformed an everyday penny into a potential fortune. Imagine the people who discovered this coin for the first time. Ordinary collectors, just like you, rifling through rolls of pennies in search of something rare. They pulled it out, felt its weight, studied the mint mark, and instantly realized, this is not like the others. Some doubted it at first. Could a 1994 penny really be worth millions? Skepticism quickly turned into excitement as experts confirmed the truth. Certain 1994 D Lincoln pennies are worth over $1 million. The secret lies in the coin's mint mark. The D stands for Denver, but it's not just the location that matters. It's the way that mint mark was struck on some pennies in 1994, an imperfection, a misalignment, a variation so small most would never notice. Yet that tiny variation carries enormous value that if you want to know whether your coin could be one of the million-dollar pennies, you have to look carefully. First, examine the mint mark under a magnifying glass. Does it look slightly off-center? Is the D unusually thick or thin compared to other pennies from the same year? Every detail counts. Next, check the relief on Lincoln's profile. Is the image unusually sharp or oddly smooth? These anomalies, while subtle, are what experts hunt for when they search for the coins worth millions. But finding one is only part of the story. The true magic comes from understanding the journey of these coins. Many were lost, spent in ordinary transactions, never recognized for their hidden worth. Others ended up in collections, passed down through generations without anyone realizing the treasure they held. Every 1994 D penny has a story, a journey from the mint, through hands of strangers, across decades, now potentially sitting unnoticed in someone's drawer. Collectors often describe the first time they see one as a life-changing moment. Hearts racing, hands shaking, realizing that an object that once seemed worthless is actually a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Over $1 million. The magnitude of that discovery cannot be overstated. Families have been changed, dreams realized, simply because someone looked a little closer, cared a little more, noticed what others overlooked. The coin's mystery is far from over. Every time one surfaces at an auction or private sale, the story grows, fueling excitement and driving prices higher. Experts debate how many truly exist. Estimates are small enough to make the coin nearly mythical, yet real enough that ordinary Americans could stumble upon one today. These pennies were mass-produced and scattered. Millions of Americans have 1994 pennies in their homes. That means the one with the right D mint mark, the rare anomaly, could be hiding right under your nose, waiting for discovery. Every jar of pennies, every forgotten coin roll is a potential gold mine. To identify this coin like a pro, start with light and magnification. Check for clarity in the details of Lincoln's face, the Lincoln Memorial, and especially the D mint mark. Compare with other 1994 pennies you have. Slight variations make the difference between an everyday penny and a million-dollar masterpiece. Some collectors even use photography to capture the minute differences in shine, edge, and engraving. It's precision work, and the reward can be unimaginable. Most of us throw pennies into drawers, jars, or tip jars without a second thought. But among those thousands of coins, one could be worth over $1 million. That's the thrill, the drama, the suspense of coin collecting. A single, quiet object capable of transforming your life overnight. And it's not just about money. It's about the story, the history, the incredible realization that something so small can hold such extraordinary value. And the stories don't stop there. Every collector who discovers a rare 1994 D Lincoln penny tells the same thing: disbelief, awe, and gratitude. The journey of finding the coin, verifying it, and realizing its worth is a roller coaster of emotion. Imagine holding a penny in your hand and realizing it could fund your dreams, change your family's future, and even make history as one of the most remarkable finds in U.S. coin collecting. Now let's take a moment to reflect. If you have 1994 pennies in your home, check them carefully. Take your time, examine every detail, compare with authentic examples online or with a coin expert. You might be one careful look away from discovering a fortune. Remember, every $1 million coin was once ordinary, overlooked, dismissed, until someone noticed. The spacing of letters, the sharpness of lines, the way light hits the surface. The slightest deviation from the norm could indicate the coin worth millions. And once identified, its value is undeniable. Collectors, dealers, and investors all recognize the extraordinary potential. Think about the thrill. Imagine the excitement, the disbelief, the emotional high of holding a coin that could literally be worth $1 million. Ordinary Americans, just like you, have experienced this exact moment. And it could happen again. Today, right now. And as you look through your pennies, think about the journey of a single coin, minted in Denver, handled by thousands, unnoticed, overlooked, and then, finally, discovered to be worth an unimaginable fortune. The 1994 D. Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden treasure, of the extraordinary lurking in the ordinary, of opportunity waiting for those who are vigilant, patient, and curious. A rush of excitement, a surge of hope, a quiet awe at the possibilities. You don't just own a coin, you hold a story, a mystery, a potential life-changing discovery. And the best part? You don't have to travel far, search high and low, or spend thousands on auctions. You might already have the coin in your pocket, jar, or drawer. The suspense is real, the stakes are high, and the reward is unlike anything else in the world of collecting. A single 1994 D. Lincoln penny could bring over $1 million into your hands. Every detail matters. Every glance counts. Every moment spent searching could be the moment that changes your life forever. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and realizing it could change your life forever. This isn't just any coin. This is a 1979 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, one of the most sought-after, shocking coins in the history of U.S. currency. Some collectors have paid over $1 million for coins like this. And the most incredible part? Most people walk past them every single day, completely unaware of the treasure hiding in their pocket change. It all begins with a penny, ordinary in appearance, but extraordinary in story. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and over the decades, it became more than just a coin. It became a symbol of American history, a small metal piece carrying a legacy. But in 1979, a hidden flaw at the Denver Mint created something so rare that it would shock collectors decades later. At a first glance, it looks like any other 1979 penny. Copper brown, about the size of a dime, featuring Lincoln's profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But there's something extraordinary about this penny. A subtle error in the striking process, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, transformed it from common currency into a coin that could fetch over $1 million. It's all about the mint mark. The tiny D stamped beneath Lincoln's shoulder is more than a letter. It's a signal of rarity. Only a handful of these coins escape the mint with the exact imperfection that makes them worth such staggering amounts. Most collectors never even get the chance to see one, let alone own it. Imagine the thrill of discovering this coin buried among ordinary pennies in your wallet or loose change jar. The feeling of disbelief, the rush of excitement, knowing that something you've held for years could be worth over $1 million. That's the power of rare coins. Ordinary objects hiding extraordinary potential. But spotting a 1979 D. Lincoln penny isn't easy. You have to know exactly what to look for. First, check the date. It's right above Lincoln's shoulder. Next, look for the mint mark. The D is tiny but crucial. Then, study the rim and the details of Lincoln's bust. This particular penny carries a subtle doubling effect, a tiny anomaly that only appears under magnification. It's this flaw, almost invisible to the casual observer, that separates a regular penny from a potential $1 million coin. The story behind these coins is just as fascinating as their value. Back in 1979, The Denver Mint struck millions of pennies, each destined for circulation. But a few were struck with what collectors call a doubled die. This error, caused by a misalignment in the coin die, creates a subtle shadow effect on Lincoln's face and the word liberty. At the time, nobody noticed. They were simply pennies, passed hand to hand, spent and forgotten. Years later, collectors began to notice anomalies in certain 1979 D pennies. The discovery sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Experts studied these coins under microscopes, documenting each detail, each variation. Suddenly, ordinary collectors found themselves staring at coins worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. The idea that something so small could hold so much value was almost unbelievable, and that's exactly what makes this coin so mysterious. How could an error from over 40 years ago suddenly become so valuable? It's the perfect storm of scarcity, history, and human fascination. People dream of finding hidden treasures, of uncovering forgotten wealth in their everyday lives. This coin embodies that dream. That if you want to find a 1979 D Lincoln penny like this, here's what you need to do. First, gather your collection of pennies from the late 1970s. Focus on coins minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass and study the surface carefully. Look for any doubling on the letters and Lincoln's features. Compare it to verified images from trusted coin guides. Patience is key. This isn't something you'll spot instantly. The thrill is in the hunt. Collectors who have found these coins describe a wave of emotion they can barely put into words. Shock, disbelief, exhilaration, all in a single moment. Some have said it felt like finding a piece of history that had been personally waiting for them. Imagine holding a coin that could literally transform your financial future, a coin that could turn a small collection into a million-dollar fortune. Every detail matters. Even the slightest scratch, the tiniest discoloration, can affect its value. That's why experts advise extreme care. Handle coins with gloves, store them in protective cases, and always consult professional grading services. Because a coin like this is more than just money. It's a piece of history, a masterpiece created by chance and circumstance. The fascination with rare coins isn't just about wealth. It's about connection. Connection to history, to craftsmanship, to a moment in time when a tiny error could create something extraordinary. The 1979 D Lincoln penny is a reminder that even in the most ordinary moments, incredible surprises are possible. That change you overlooked, that pocket full of pennies, could contain something that reshapes your entire life. Collectors who stumble upon these pennies often experience a surge of inspiration. They begin to see the ordinary world differently. They begin to look closer, to notice details, to value things that others dismiss. And when they finally confirm that they've found a genuine 1979 D double die Lincoln penny, the excitement is overwhelming. It's proof that patience, knowledge, and a keen eye can uncover treasures hiding in plain sight. Imagine sitting down with a jar of pennies, sorting through them one by one. Ordinary coins clinking together until something catches your eye. A glint, a shadow, a subtle doubling on Lincoln's bust. Your heart races as you realize what you're holding. This is it. This is the coin that could be worth over $1 million. Even for seasoned collectors, the discovery is life-changing. Families pass down these coins, museums seek to acquire them, and numismatic circles celebrate their rarity. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest power. That a humble penny, often overlooked and undervalued, can become the key to a fortune. And the truth is, these coins aren't just stories from the past. They're out there, waiting to be found. Hidden in wallets, jars, drawers, or old collections. Maybe even in your own home, tucked away in a box or behind a photo frame. The possibility exists that someone could stumble across a genuine 1979 D Lincoln penny tomorrow and instantly change their life. So keep looking, keep learning, and never underestimate the ordinary. Pay attention to the details. Study the mint marks. Examine the doubling. Understand the history. Because with coins like this, knowledge isn't just power, it's opportunity. Collectors will tell you that the thrill isn't just in the value. It's in the story, the chase, the knowledge that you are holding something truly unique. The 1979 D Lincoln penny represents all of that and more. It's a testament to patience, curiosity, and the magic of discovery. Spotting this coin requires a trained eye, but it isn't impossible. It's waiting for the next lucky collector to recognize it, to appreciate it, to hold it. And when that moment happens, it's unforgettable. Millions of dollars can be transformed in the blink of an eye. And yet it all starts with a simple penny.so. If you have a collection of old pennies, don't overlook them. Examine each one carefully. Study the dates, the mint marks, and the details. That ordinary coin at the bottom of the jar could be the extraordinary coin of a lifetime. The coin that turns dreams into reality. The coin that reminds us all that incredible surprises can be hiding in the most unassuming places. This is not just any penny. This is a 1998 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern American numismatics. At first glance, it looks ordinary. It looks like the pennies you've seen 100 times before. But this coin holds a secret that could change your life forever. Every coin has a story, and the story of the 1998 D penny begins in a quiet mint in Denver. It was a year like any other. Coins were struck, and life went on. But a tiny anomaly occurred. A small, almost invisible error that made this coin extraordinary. A mistake so subtle that most collectors would walk right past it, never realizing its true worth. Imagine the moment someone finally notices. Heart racing, hands trembling, because what they are holding is not just copper and zinc. It's a ticket to wealth, a ticket to history, a ticket to $1 million discovery. This coin's value isn't just in its metal. It's in its rarity, its story, its magic. Collectors will pay astonishing sums for coins like this. In some cases, over $1 million. And the strange, mysterious part? Very few people even know it exists. Look closely at the mint mark, the small D stamped on the coin. But not all D mint marks are the same. The $1 million coin has a specific feature. Its design may show subtle doubling or a misalignment in the strike, a tiny imperfection that turns an ordinary penny into a collector's treasure. Every detail matters. The way Lincoln's profile catches the light, the curve of his coat, the tiny details of the lettering. To the untrained eye, it is a penny. To a collector who knows, it is priceless. Imagine sitting at home, sorting through your old coins. When you spot it, the feeling is electric. Your hands shake, your heart pounds. Could it really be? A coin worth over $1 million, sitting quietly, waiting for discovery. Collectors spend years chasing these pennies. Dealers scour auctions, check rolls of coins, and watch every marketplace closely. They would pay everything they have for the chance to hold this coin in their hands. And yet, for all their experience, so many would still miss it, because the 1998 D. Lincoln penny doesn't scream for attention. It hides in plain sight. It blends into the hundreds of thousands of coins produced that year. And that's what makes finding it so thrilling. It's like discovering a secret the world doesn't know. This coin may show a double die on the mint mark or an unusual die crack near the rim. Sometimes, collectors notice tiny differences in the lettering or spacing. These small details are what turn a common penny into $1 million artifact. That it's not just about luck. It's about knowledge. Learning how to spot these anomalies, studying the coin's features, comparing it to standard examples. Once you know what to look for, the odds of discovering a hidden treasure skyrocket, and the emotions involved are intense. Every discovery is a story of anticipation, hope, and the thrill of possibility. Imagine the phone call you'd make, the disbelief in your voice, the joy of realizing you hold something extraordinary. Every penny has its journey, from the mint to circulation, passing through countless hands. Most are lost, spent, forgotten. Only a few survive, pristine or nearly so, waiting for someone to recognize their worth. Consider the collectors who have found similar coins. Their lives changed overnight. From casual hobbyists to million-dollar coin owners, all because they recognized a coin hiding in plain sight. Out of millions minted in 1998, only a handful have the distinctive features that make them million-dollar coins. That's what makes the hunt so exciting. Every coin you examine could be the one that changes everything. The thrill is in the details. Check the rim, inspect Lincoln's profile, examine the D mint mark. Look for doubling, slight die errors, anything unusual. These subtle differences are invisible to most, but they are the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a coin worth millions. Collectors have stories of literally finding million-dollar coins in the most unlikely places, in jars, drawers, old collections, even forgotten rolls of change. You never know when luck and knowledge might intersect. Now imagine holding it, feeling its weight, its texture, knowing that a coin you might have passed over hundreds of times could be worth $1 million. That's not just excitement. That's life-changing discovery. Once you know how to identify it, you are part of an elite group. Few have this knowledge. Fewer still have the opportunity to act on it. And that opportunity is in your hands right now. Let's go deeper into identifying the coin. Examine the date carefully. Look at the spacing of numbers. Check the alignment with the mint mark. Small, almost imperceptible variations signal the extraordinary. Collectors call this the thrill of the hunt. The knowledge that any penny could be a hidden fortune. The tension, the suspense, the anticipation. It's part of what makes coin collecting so addictive, so magical, so potentially life-changing. Think about the stories you'll tell. Friends, family, fellow collectors will listen in disbelief as you describe the day you found a coin worth over $1 million. A simple penny transformed into a legend in your hands. And yet, for every story of discovery, there are countless coins overlooked, discarded, lost to history. The ones that survive are the rarest. The ones that whisper to the collector who knows how to listen. Imagine yourself sorting through change, and suddenly, your eye catches something unusual. That moment, that heartbeat, is what collectors live for. The knowledge, the recognition, the potential of $1 million discovery. Focus on the mint mark, check for doubling, inspect the lettering, study the die cracks, compare with standard examples. Every detail matters. Missing one could mean missing a fortune, and the suspense continues because you never know where it might appear. A jar in your kitchen, an old coin collection, even your pocket change could conceal this rare treasure. Collectors and dealers fight to find coins like this. They attend auctions, scour marketplaces, examine every roll. But some of the most astonishing finds happen in complete secrecy, quietly, without fanfare. This is the beauty of the 1998 D. Lincoln penny. It hides, it teases, it challenges. Only the observant, the patient, the knowledgeable will recognize its worth. And that is exactly what makes it priceless. Imagine holding it again, feeling its edges, examining its mint mark, imagining the millions it represents. The power of knowledge combined with the thrill of chance. A coin, small in size, vast in potential.